Here's the fuel pump. The part number, it's 2019 Lexus RX 350, and we're changing out the fuel pump today. I already did a few things. I moved this front seat all the way up. I also folded down this back seat. We have to take this seat out to get to the fuel pump. So I folded this down, took off the headrest to give you some more room. On the front of the seats here, there are two plastic covers to protect yourself from these bars down here. And there's one plastic cover right there. So I took those off. I also just folded back the storage compartment so I can gain access to the bolts and wires and stuff behind the seat. All right, next here in the back, there's a couple of plastic little, I don't know what they call these things. Two plastic rivets. Those just come out with your pry tool. That was a tough one. There we go. Take those out. And then there's a 10 millimeter right here. Take that guy out. All right, after those three are out, then you're gonna just fold this back, and there's another plastic clip right here. Take that guy out. All right, now that we've disconnected this, what I did, I just slid the rear seat forward. Now we have a couple connectors here. So this gets disconnected. Obviously this comes off, and then this is for the seat release. Yeah, I'll have to figure these out, but either way, 1, 2, 3, those need to be disconnected. All right, so this unclipped easy, this unclipped easy. This thing is being a pain. So what I did so far, I'm gonna go in the reverse order of what just happened. This little cover comes off of right here. And when I took that cover off, I was then able to disconnect. See the cable? That's the nub of the cable. I was able to unhook the cable from here. That's what connects the two cables, this cable to the cable in here. So that's unhooked. Prior to that, on this piece of plastic was this guy. And this was on there. I just slid it back and it popped off. And then prior to either of those, there was this retainer clip, this like C-clip, and it was on here and was in these two grooves. So I took this retainer clip off. Then I slid back this little piece of plastic and it popped off. And then I actually used a small screwdriver, and I just poked it right in this space, and this little piece popped out. Now I'm trying to figure out how to get this disconnected, and I can't figure it out. All right, well, I figured it out, and I put it back together for you. All you do is I just pulled really hard on the cable, and then this whole mechanism just pops out. All right, now that all that's disconnected, there are two bolts for the seat there. There's one bolt for the seat back there. And then up front, there's also a bolt there, bolt there. I'll take all those out. All right, I have those 1, 2, 3, 5 bolts out. They're all 14 millimeter. So now, I believe, yep, this seat is disconnected from the car. So now, make sure your door is open all the way. And we're just gonna pull that seat out carefully. Just note, when you go to take this seat out, you can see right here, there's a small strap that the seatbelt is behind. So you gotta pull that out of that strap to get that loose, and then it'll come out. Is that a French fry? Sweet. All right, the seat is out. Here's a great opportunity to vacuum under here. just something to note for when you put this back together. There are these little plastic, almost like drywall anchor looking things that go in the holes for the bolts. I'm not sure, not the back ones, I don't think, but maybe just the front ones, I don't know. But anyways, this one stayed on the seat when I took it out, and this one is still in the hole, so just make sure those go back in. All right, next there's this plastic trim cover piece, and I think you can just pull it off. There's like little clips in there. Hopefully they don't break. Yep, that just pops right out. Put that aside. And then here in the back, get my light back here, we have 2 more plastic clips, or those little grommet things. One there and one there. We need to take those out because this whole carpet we are eventually going to fold back. So 1, 2 plastic clips. All right, plastic clips are out. This threshold is off. So now I think we're just gonna move all this carpet. So we're gonna push these wires back through the little hole, and I'm gonna fold up this carpet that'll give us access to what's underneath. So here we go. All right, so I've been folding this back. I got the wires out of the hole. I actually had to pull this little, I think there's a little connector in there too. I pulled that piece off. You're gonna want to take the carpet out of under this plastic here too. That's why we took off this front seat bolt cover, and then you're just gonna fold this back like that. If you want to get something to hold it back, you can, because what we need to get to is under here, right there. All right, I used a bungee from there to my headrest, and then this, I guess this is sound deadening, I don't know. I don't want to rip it, but it actually already is ripped. I don't know if I did that or not. But either way, I don't think it's attached. I think it just comes out. I don't know. I guess maybe I'll just fold it back. I guess I'll fold that back too. All right, this insulation I just kind of folded back, and I have that connected with a bungee. That gives me plenty of room to get into here. Now, from what I understand, because I've done this on 1 or 2 other cars, there's this, I don't know what it is. It's not a glue, but it's like a thick putty sealer. See this black stuff under here? So we have to really pry to get this cover off. So let me figure out what the best tool for that is. All right, so all I'm using is a pry bar, and I kind of just am working it around. You can see that I'm already making some progress with it coming up. So I'm just gonna work my way all the way around it real gently, take my time, and eventually it'll pop off. Okay, so as I was going around, I just went around and loosened it. It actually looks like eventually I can just pull it right up. And it's tight. Oh, my glove stuck to it. So I'm just gonna pull it up gently. Wow, this stuff is, what's under there? I don't want to. There is a wire, so you don't want to just yank it all the way off. I'm gonna work my way around here, and I'm sticking to it. So let me keep working it. All right, so I peeled it off. You do have a little bit of room. The wires are kind of a little long, so you're okay there. Anyways, there's 2 connectors in here that are really dirty, and the plastic is old, so yeah, we have to get those off. There's plastic clips, so just take your time. All right, so I have the 2 connectors off. Now, as far as the supply line, I think there's a little plastic, there's a little yellow slide clip that slides out. I'm gonna be very gentle with it, because when stuff like this breaks, then you're in trouble. So there's just a little yellow clip that slides out. I think that holds it in. The clip doesn't come out, it just, no, the clip doesn't come out. All right, so now, I think this comes off, and I have a hunch that maybe some gas in there. So I'm gonna go get some rags. All right, so I have these fuel line pliers, but this fuel line, I don't know, seems really solid. So I'm gonna pull this out and hope for the best here. I got some paper towels. Is that the best tool for the job? Probably not. I guess this thing comes out somehow. I don't know how it comes out. I'm turning it. I mean, does it pop out? I don't even know. Oh, my yellow clip isn't far enough out. Oh. Does the clip come out? Oh. Okay. So the yellow clip does come out, and it has to come out for you to be able to pull this up. I'm just kind of gonna slowly wiggle it. I know you can't see probably, but I'm just kind of turning it, rotating it left and right. Okay, it's moving. I just don't know how much fuel's gonna come out. Well, a little bit came out. Oh, okay, that's it, just a tiny bit. I'm gonna loosen these pliers and see if they make a difference. No. Pliers make no difference. All right. So it's a tiny bit of fuel. I'm sure my family will complain about the smell of fuel in the car once I've gone through all this hard work. Oh wow, this is really dirty in here. I'm putting that back in, and oh my goodness. I probably shouldn't have done that. Now there's dirt everywhere. Oh my god, this dirt's gonna go in my gas tank? Holy mackerel. This thing is dirty. Alright. Fuel line is off. Alright, next we have to get off this cap. And I bought this wrench specifically for this job on Amazon. Make it easier. Let's see if this thing works. Sure enough. Ow! That's my finger. Oh, I think I just broke my thumbnail. Oh! I'll be back. Oh, that was such a rookie mistake. I had my finger. Oh, why would you do that? Alright, so I have it back on. Turning slowly. And it comes off because, you know. There we go. I'm pushing down on the tool and loosening it. So it's working. Alright, so now I'm going to turn it by hand. But I'm expecting this to come off. And then let's see what happens. Is it still loose there? I'm going to take the tool off. By hand a little more. Okay, so it just popped up. So I'm going to take that ring off. It's very dirty, so I'm going to take the ring off. Now I have the... Wow, this thing is dirty. With my luck, it's probably a full gas tank. Okay, so here's the whole unit I'm pulling out. Tilting it a little bit, as I'm sure it's full of gas. So I'm going to drain this out and then pull it out. Yeah, pretty much a full tank. Perfect. there's a little float. I can't show you, but there's a little float. Okay. That rock just fell in there. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna move this over here. I took it out of the car, and there's a rock in the bottom of my fuel tank. I can look at it and I can see it. What do I do? Do I go in and get it? How much gas? Not that much gas, actually. No, it's like 6 inches of fuel in there. All right, let me figure this out. All right, just to show you, because it happened, there's a rock right in the bottom of the fuel tank. So I'm just going to use my longest pair of needle nose and go in there and grab it. Remember the game Operation when you were a kid? Well, finally using those skills. And there he is. Got it. So just for the time being, while I'm not in here, or while I am in here, I guess I'm just going to cover this thing up for now, just so I don't drop anything else in there. All right, here it is. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to unhook this here, and then this unclips, and this whole, these wires and this float will come off. All right, so I just unhooked that. I lifted up that little tab, so this whole piece should come off. Yep, I'll just move that, put it somewhere. All right, there's that. All right, I think here's what we need to do. First, we're gonna unclip this connector. Then, in here, there's like a little C-clip. That clip has to come off. Then we can get underneath and disconnect this connector. And I think it'll all pop out. Oh, and then these, there's a clip here, and a cool, is that it? Is that, and that clip holds it, oh, here and here. That clip holds the, kind of that top on. So let's do all that. All right, so first is going to be this little connector. Okay, just lift it up. That slides out. Then the C clip is on here. It's on this guy. So I'm leaking some gas here. I'm gonna push down on this little hat, and then the little C clip should come off. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so little C clip is off. Put that somewhere where I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna disconnect these two. There's one connector or two. That is two. So what I'm doing here is disconnecting. Let me get these wires out of this little holder. There's the wires out of that holder, and then the two clips. They are the same. The gray one goes closer to this black, the fuel line, the fuel hose. So they go in that orientation. Okay, so now that's off, and there's these two little plastic clips. I'm going to do them. What does that do? I think this whole thing come out? What's going on here? So what's going on here? Oh, so here on the back side, this hose, I can disconnect that and disconnect that. There we go. I hope that made sense. The whole thing comes out. All right, next we want to get off the filter strainer. So these little plastic tabs. I think we can just kind of work our way around them. There's a couple of them. Be very gentle. Well, there's 1, 2, yes, looks like there's 3 tabs. Trying to get this off. I'm not doing a very good job. There's only 3 of them. Okay. I got 2 of them off. Trying to be very gentle. I'm using a this looks like it almost, it's very close. What's going on here? Oh, I just pulled it right off. Okay. So there's that. So move that over here. And I think the pump comes out. I think I'm gonna push it from the top. Yeah. I'm pushing it from the top. And it does come out. Okay. So there's the pump. There on the top of the pump is this little spacer. We need that. Do not lose that. So there's the spacer. Put that somewhere safe. Put that with the C-clip, so I'll lose both of them. And the new pump. So this wiring harness comes out somehow. Oh, there's just a little squeezy tab on there. I think I just squeeze that, maybe. Squeeze that and just use a little, yeah. So all I'm doing is pushing that in very gently. I don't want to use my screwdriver really. Maybe I'm gonna get under it. I don't like disconnecting these harnesses. It always seems so. So I'm getting it from underneath. I know you can't see. You can get it from underneath. Probably be better suited if I used a pick. Anyways, we're getting there. Alright, I'll be right back. So I just squeezed this little connector here, and then there's actually a couple little holes, and I just went in there with my little pick and pushed that right out. So there's my old one. One of the things I always like to do when I'm replacing a part, I just write on it any kind of marking, old. That way if I'm looking at them together, I don't accidentally forget which one is the old one. So there's the old one. Now also inside, you can see, probably can't see, there's an O-ring in there where this seats. So there's a rubber O-ring, we gotta pull that out. It's inside. All right, so we have the new pump. We're going to put this O-ring spacer. So the spacer goes on, then the O-ring goes on, like that. And we're going to then put on the pump back on. Looks like it goes like this. All right. Then we're gonna slide it all back together. I'll put a little gas on that O-ring. And then we're gonna slide this back in. All right, so then I'm gonna put connector back in for the pump. Slide that back in. Then I should be able to slide this pump right back in. The orientation of, where's the O-ring go? Oh. Right, this is on. Okay. Actually, I don't have to put that filter on yet. But I am having trouble getting this thing on. Oh, this one is going right up in the middle. Okay. So you're gonna push that on. I gave it a nice little shove to pop that O-ring on. Then I'm gonna put the filter back on. That goes on like this. That you almost line up these plastic tabs. But of course, I know it's hard to see, you can't see this, but of course it's gonna be a pain in my rear end. And it's all plastic, so. What's going on here? It's not on right at all. What is going on here? Yeah. Perfect. One of the clips is on crooked. Alright. Try this again. In theory. Either way, I'm gonna get this on. Alright, so I didn't get this on camera. Sorry. I actually put the filter, connected it to the pump first, and then slid the whole thing in. That was the easiest way to get it back on. All right, next I'm gonna reconnect the two pump connectors, remembering that the gray one goes closest to the fuel line. And the wires, they go on a little hook. Keep them safe out of the way. Okay, so that's done. So the little black one has to go up there too. I don't like the way those wires are in there. I'm putting the little black wire in first. I know you guys can't really see what I'm doing, but I'm just putting all these wires in this little clip. Okay, there's that. All right, for the last part, it's hard to show you, but you're just gonna drop, oops, you're just gonna drop everything right back in to where it was and hook it all back up. I wish I could show you, but I have to do this with two hands. I don't have the ability to do that. So just do what you did in reverse. Okay, so a few things. I cleaned off the top a little bit. I made sure that these two clips were on. I did get that C clip back on there. That was tough. I routed this back on here and I reconnected it. I'll reconnect at the bottom. I made sure that these wires are in this little kind of holder, so if they're out of the way. This thing goes up and down. I think it sits down in there like that. All the wires are in, the O-rings in, the filter's in, everything is back together. Sorry, I'm holding it out of the camera. I think it's ready to go back in the car. It is not ready to go back in the car because I didn't put back on this guy. That would have been a disaster. So this is the float. We're going to connect this back on. There's just a little clip there. And then it connects up top. That's in, that's in. Now it's ready to go back in the car. I like to make sure everything is perfect when it goes back in. I try my best. These three little wires, see the little bend in them? They were in this little kind of set of connectors, little hook in here. So make sure you get those back in there before you put it back in the car. All right, so there's the fuel pump all done, all ready to go back in the car. I'm not gonna show you putting everything back together in reverse because it's the same thing that you already did, but in reverse. So I'm gonna put the fuel pump back in. I'm gonna tighten it down. I'm gonna put the cover on it. I'm gonna put the insulation back. I'm gonna put the carpet back. I'm gonna put all the grommets in. I'm gonna put all the bolts back on. I'm just gonna put it all back together and then we'll start it up.